Yeah, it's me back again. I found the file. Look how many parts are in this thing. This is a really early design I did. This is not the IMC. The IMC is an entire motorbike. But you look at how complex this is. Every single one of those parts has specific dimensions, and that was dodgy there. But you know, these these original drawings were really hell to draw up, and trying to keep track of all this stuff. Every single one of those parts has different versions, different dimensions. It might change bolt holes. I've got to rename the part, and you've got to keep track of all of this. Even splines like that. This thing's got a spline in it, and it's not coming up with the arrows. Why is that not coming up with the arrows? I've got this in a different mode. Oh, it might be in the edit mode. But my point is that drawing up a motorbike, drawing up an RC car complete that you can drive, not only is difficult from the design point of view, but you'd also have to be halfway to being an electronics technician as well. Now, it's okay if you're trained, but one thing you don't understand is that when you're trained as an electronic technician, you're taught to do things a certain way, and you will assume that you get certain things, and then when you find yourself out of work, you don't get them anymore. You can't get them. There are things that they have available to you in the trade, and they'll say something like, oh, I've got to do this. That's all right, you go see Bob Brand, he does that. And then when you go home and try and do it yourself, you find you can't do it, and a lot of guys, what they do is they go back to work and get Bob Brand to do it, and they get away with it for a while until they finally foot them out. When you get old, they just shovel you out. With AES, you can't get shoveled out. AES, you cannot be phased out when you do AES, and that's why the whole global business system are trying to bring me down. They're trying to shut me up. You know, telling people that they program you in the education system, they don't like that at all. And the point is that if you do AES, you can't be phased out. So this is a very new thing. And I'm 67 and I'm not even slowing down here, I'm speeding up. You look at the stuff I'm developing here. All this stuff's all custom made. I'm not some old fogey that's phased out of the workforce and living, you know, yelling at clouds. I'm not that at all. I'm advancing, and it pisses me off that I can't get a job. And they would hire me, oh no, you're too old. Oh, for God's sake, it'd be alright. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't work if I was still pedal beating. But it doesn't take a lot of strength to do sales. And I'm an applied mathematician. Oh, but I couldn't get a job in sales. Oh, for God's sake, the fucking math isn't even hard enough for me. I actually wrote a thing on business and put it up, and all these business people are hitting it. When I first started putting my math up, the Bank of America inquired about getting a job. Sheila spoke to me. She gave me a name, and she said give her a ring. When I first started doing this, I'm really good at math. But you look how hard this stuff is, and every single thing here has to be dimensioned. I could make that up on the 3D printer. It's pretty roughly done, but my point is an RC car is 100 times harder because they're specific parts, and they have to be fitted to a 0.5 millimetre. There's no way that you'd have the directory structure. That's right. To do this, you look how many phases this went through. This has gone through a huge number of stages. That's when I started off, and that's only just one job. And I've got about God knows how many jobs. This lathe mill, the last one there. That was one I drew up. That was just an idea that I had. That was putting a milling attachment on my lathe, on my old, not a David Brown, it's a, I can't remember the name, it's an American name. But all of these have got separate parts, and every single one of them has to be catalogued, and you have to describe every one because they've got slight changes in every one. So this idea that you can print an RC car, well, maybe you could if you were a professional design engineer and you had half a dozen people working for you, but My directory structure, I've got over 2 million files on my computer. See how I itemise all my stuff? My whole computer's like that. My entire computer is organised in this system. And I started getting me books together, just me books alone. And look how many directories I've got of me books. These are all books. This is just insane. I've been doing this for 45 years. Oh, I think about 42. These are all books. Those ones to start with there. The VBA Primer, the Norton model, they're all about 300 or 400 pages long. But anyway, I'm going to leave now. But yeah, this idea that you can print out an RCK, oh bullshit. It is, it's bullshit. Yeah, Clive Rocksinger over and out.